The Police Crime Sentencing and Courts Bill of 2021 is coming. Should van lifers be worried? Let's find out. On the 9th of March 2021, Home Secretary Priti Patel started the ball rolling on a bill that some are referring to as draconian, which legally places a stranglehold on our freedoms. As with most government actions, its intentions and details are buried amidst endless word soup, 300 pages of such to be precise, but luckily the sections which actually pertain to van life only span 6 of those pages. So let's crack on. Here we go, part 4, Unauthorised Encampment, so trespass basically. So it says if a person aged 18 or over, so 17-year-olds with fresh driving licences can do whatever they want for some reason. It says if a person 18 years or over is residing, which according to the dictionary means to have one's permanent home in a particular place, but for the purpose of this section, a person is considered as residing or having the intention to reside in a place even if that residence or intended residence is temporary, and a person may be regarded as residing or having an intention to reside in a place notwithstanding that the person has a home elsewhere. So they're basically just redefining words. It says if a person 18 years or over is residing or intending to reside. I get if someone set up a tent, they're clearly intending to reside, but how do you determine that someone's going to reside if they've just pulled up in a van that's got a bed in it? Do they just look at you and go, he's got his slippers on, she's took her bra off, you're nicked? If an 18-year-old or older person is asked to leave by the landowner, fair enough. If they're asked to leave by a constable, fair enough. But if they're asked to leave by a representative also. A representative? How do we determine if someone's a representative? That could just be any busybody.
What's the S stand for?
Park Ranger, mate. And you have to take that as a warning shot. I don't know. Anyway, the offence is caused if the person refuses to leave, if they return within 12 months to the same place, or, this is another slippery one, if they have or intend to have at least one vehicle with them on the land. So again, if you've set up a tent next to your vehicle, fair enough, your intent is clear. But what if your vehicle is an abode? How do they determine the intention then? So basically just move on when you're asked, and there shouldn't be any trouble. Shouldn't be. Anyway, what are the consequences? So here in subsection 5 it says a person guilty of an offence is liable to imprisonment for up to 3 months, or a fine not exceeding level 4, which is £2,500, or both, unless you have a reasonable excuse. But then also in section 60D it states that if an offence the constable reasonably suspects has been caused, then they have the power to seize and remove any relevant property which appears to the constable. So he could hallucinate something and he could confiscate it. But it then says that relevant property can be a vehicle and any other property that is on the relevant land. So your life basically. They can just take everything. For 3 months or forever if you're convicted. As mentioned already, it can be now an offence for one person to have a singular vehicle with intent to reside. Previously, 2 or more persons and 6 or more vehicles were required before action could be taken. So that's a big change. If this is designed to keep groups of people out, why are they talking about seizing one vehicle? Just one single person? What's the purpose of that, Priti? Also, the previous offence of damaging land or property or using threatening, abusive or insulting language towards the landowner, landowner's family or any employees has now been expanded to include damage to the environment including excessive noise, smells and waste. Also disruption involving blocking access to services or facilities, and distress, which is basically the abusive language thing, but you're now not allowed to write abusive language anywhere. So I guess that's aimed at protesters more than van lifers. So the bill is currently at its second reading, but there is still some time left to fight it. There's a petition that can be signed that's asking for it to be amended. I'll add the link below. I'll also include a link to our blog post below that tells us how to stealthily keep off the radar and not cause distress to locals wherever you're parking. Be careful, basically. We have Van Lifer Survivor's Guide. That's it for today. Happy camping.